up, guys? Time to show off a Piranha build. This is one of the new style Piranhas we were lasering ourselves. Initially, the first, 10, 12 were all acid etched and painted. These ones are lasered. So, lasered Piranha. Then we do super light painting on this, and then that shows all the imperfections in the background from the lasering. It gives it some nice depth. And since this is like a black distressed, I had grabbed one of these. This is a solid milled bezel, all one piece. It looks like it's a coin bezel with an insert, but it's actually all one piece. I had some that were black infill, but the black was a different color black and it was more solid, whereas this is more distressed. I thought they conflicted too much. I thought, you know what? It will pop a lot more if that's the only thing that's black. So we have a matte finish with polish finish, milled bezel. We have a bead blasted to give you the same kind of matte finish case. And if you'd ever actually scratch this, it would show up shiny. So if like you took sandpaper along this edge, you'd have a shiny edge. So, over time, it will actually kind of work itself into looking similar. Two-tone brushed and polished band. Haven't done one of these in a long time. I didn't have anything Piranha related for clasps, so I thought I'll grab one of these. I don't know that I've ever done one. I might have done one time before, but I thought this band looks really good. It's 22 tapered down to 20 with that foldover clasp. Anchor engraved crown. And then I did something a little fancy with this one. You haven't seen these in a long time. I've been hoarding them and not giving them out, so I thought this might be a good time to give one out. So they stand a little bit taller, but it makes this kind of stand up a little bit more. Solid caseback, solid full window, sapphire, color shifting, exhibition caseback. You've got one of my signed rotors in there. This will shift from blue to yellow. So I thought, might as well put one in there so you guys can finally get one of those. So that is the Piranha build. Oh yeah, black handset in there. I did that thing where I pushed the seconds hand down too far, then had to open up the watch, tear down the movement, and strengthen the spring that puts pressure against the seconds hand because I was getting it to actually physically tick. And what that is it's not making perfect contact because when I push that seconds hand down in there, I pushed the pinion down too far and it kind of took it out of pressure, so it would kind of kick. So you gotta take the rotor off, take the bridge off, take the spring off, put some pressure on the spring, put the spring back on. And you use this screw, and I don't know how to quite describe the screw, but if you broke the head off of like your pencil, that's too big. If you cut that in half, that might also still be too big. It is a super pain to deal with, that's for sure. But that is the build. When you get fuzz on the acrylic, you see it even more because of that black background. So it makes it stand out just a little bit more. So I always notice that stuff. So bezel on this will turn left. It'll turn right. I got it on there super tight. So it shouldn't move on you unless you really want it to. Automatic mechanical. So you can wind it where it put it in a watch winder, but if it's dead or you're not going to be very active, make sure you wind it just a little bit. And how you do it is you back the crown off the threads until you hear it and feel it clicking. At that point you can wind, and a wind is a turn this way. Now I go back and forth because as you just saw, I went one way and I started threading it back on. So you want to keep your finger spacing. You can do it these singles if you want, but I did these like quarter to third turns. Just go through it real quick. If you do that for 4 or 5 seconds before you put it on, even if you're not very active, you'll keep time throughout the day because that'll be mixed with the rotor movement. If you do it for something closer to 20 seconds, you're going to max out your 31 plus hour power reserve on that. You cannot overwind it, so don't worry about that. You can wind it all day if you like. When you're happy with your winding, you will pull it to the one and only click. And you can now set your time. It does not have a hacking movement, so it's going to keep going. You'll also notice you've got a wobble crown that deflects lateral pressure from going into the stem and into the movement. So when you're pushing and prying on it, you are not putting any adverse pressure on it. On the movement. Okay, Google, what time is it?
It's 10:47 a.m.
10:40. I don't want to hear about any of those things. 10:47. When you're good, push it over, take it out of that time setting, and wind it down. Now with this build, you're also going to get, I actually had a nice silicone black strap for it, so it would be a little more touch of black in there. But I thought, just in case you want to go that route, I have some of these laying around, and I never put them on watches because it's not something that I do anything with. You know, I just have it. Some of these watches that I get, they'll come with these either on them, like the more expensive ones will come on them. So I ended up just pulling them off and setting them off to the side, and I have 3 of them total, including this one. So I thought this would be a good time to throw that one in there. That submarine build that I did that looks similar to this, but it was all silver. I sent Jared one of these as well. So, but that's the build. I think you'll like it. I thought it came out pretty awesome. Yeah, came out pretty awesome. As with every build, you're going to get matching beads. Entirely up to you how cool you are. If you want to wear them with it. Come in a silver Piranha box. Very, very close to that if you remember the larger size Piranha where you don't have the full Piranha in there. Whereas this is kind of pulled out just a little bit. So this was one of the original looks at the Piranha builds. You're going to get watch cleaner. This is good on all glass metal parts. You'll get one without the little line on it, which is this watch as a whole. Non-streaking, non-toxic, non-residue. So you can clean that watch as a whole with that. And then you also get some fine scratch remover and a microfiber. This is Novus 2 from Amazon, just repackaged. It's like poly watch. It's for your acrylic glass because you can scratch it. But if you do, put a tiny bit of this on it and buff it out using your included microfiber. If the scratch is up and down, go left and right, fill in that scratch, haze it, buff it out. Return to it 10 minutes later if it's still there. Kind of build layers, and if you've actually gouged that and fill that gouge. But if you keep working on it, it's kind of like drywall mud. You got to let it dry, otherwise you're going to pull out what you just put in there. So that's the build. If it's going to you, congrats. Thank you so much for your support. I hope you love it. And if you want me to build you something custom and unique, reach out and I'll see what I can do. And if you want to continue to see videos like this, like and subscribe, because I put them up all the time. Thanks, guys.